functional proteins is during the translation. So you have to remember that the central dogma it is the flow of genetic information from DNA, RNA to making a functional proteins. So yun talaga yung flow ng central dogma from DNA to RNA to proteins. Hindi na sila pwede magka-interchange. So dapat from DNA, RNA to making a functional protein. Now, we have here the nucleic acid. Diba? Na-mention na natin in our last mga discussions ang nucleic acid. Ano gani ang nucleic acid? It is one of the macromolecules. Ano yung kasamahan ni nucleic acid? Carbohydrates, lipids, proteins. So, si nucleic acid, it is a molecular repositories for genetic information and are jointly referred to as the molecules of heredity. So, si nucleic acid daw, it is also known as the molecules of heredity. When we say repositories, meaning it is a bank or storage of genetic information. So, si nucleic acid daw, bangko siya or storage siya ng mga genetic information. So, that's the nucleic acid. Now, there are two types of nucleic acid. We have the DNA and the RNA. So, when we say DNA, it is deoxyribonucleic acid, whereas RNA, ribonucleic acid. Now, what is the difference between DNA and RNA? Anybody? Asa sila mag-differ? Sa ilahang structure. Tingnan niyo yung structure sa DNA and RNA. Diba si DNA is double helix. Si RNA guys, single strand siya. And aside from that, isa sa mga difference nila is yung sugar. So, ano yung sugar ni DNA? Ano yung sugar ni DNA? Deoxyribose. Si RNA, ano yung sugar ni RNA? Ribose. So, yun yung difference nila. They differ in their structure. They differ in their sugar. So, yun yung i-remember ha. Basta DNA, deoxyribose. Pang RNA, ribose. Basta OSE, sugar yan siya. OSE, sugar yan siya. Okay? Sige. Next, we have DNA, life in 4 letters. So, life in 4 letters. Ano yung mga 4 letters na ito? The A, T, C, G. So, life in 4 letters. A, T, C, G. So, si DNA, it is a double-stranded molecule with a long chain of nucleotides. So, si nucleotides, it is the building block. Always remember, pag makarinig kayo ng building block, it is the nucleotides. So, ano yung building block ni DNA? It is the nucleotide. So, si nucleotides, it is composed of 3, which is si sugar, si phosphate group, and nitrogenous bases. Familiar na kayo yan? So, as you can observe, yung first na box, yan yung structure ni nucleotides. Meron siyang nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases yung mga A, T, C, G. And then, we have the phosphate group, and then the sugar. Again, ang sa ganyan ang sugar ni DNA, deoxyribose. And then si RNA, ribose. Now, we have nitrogenous bases, information containing parts of the DNA. And then we have two groups. We have the purines and the pyridines. thymine siya. So this uracil and thymine, they are under pyrimidine. So pyrimidine, yung i-remember is pyramid na acetylene na mga cat. Para hindi nyo siya ma-interchange. So we have purines, pure as gold, and then pyrimidine, pyramid, and then may tendency na mga cat. So C, U, T. Kagets ba? So ito yun siya. Purine, subguanine, adenine, sa pyrimidine naman, adenine, cytosine, and thymine. Pero sa pyrimidine, meron siyang additional na uracil. And then we have the sugar phosphate backbone. So ito, di ba, ito yung DNA. Ito yung composition niya, yung parang structure talaga ng DNA. So we have here the phosphate group ng circle. Ito yung sugar, and then ito si phosphate na naman. Kasi ito yung mga nitrogenous bases. So ito siya, it is known as the sugar phosphate backbone. And then the bonds that link together between the ribose, the oxyribose sugar, and the phosphate is the phosphodiester bonds. Ayun yung pag-umiha, phosphodiester bonds, it is the bonds that link together the deoxyribose and the phosphate group. Nasabtan, para makabuo sila ng phosphate, sugar phosphate structure within the cell. So si DNA ay mag-boil siya sa histone. So we have here the DNA. Si DNA daw is mag-boil siya or i-wrap niya si histone. Ano gano'n si histone? Si histone is a protein that provides a structural support. So si DNA, i-wrap niya si histones. And then, it to form a nucleosome. So si nucleosome ito siya. Yung meron ng histone and then si DNA na naka-coil o naka-wrap. And then, si nucleosome naman is mag-link siya together to form a chromatin fiber. So ito siya, mag-coil siya around 30 nanometers. And then after that, mag-scaffold siya dito sa, mag-compact siya tightly sa scaffold protein. Yan siya. And then, which is visible sa metaphase chromosomes during cell division. So yun yung process ni DNA packaging. From DNA to wrapping the histones to forming a nucleosome and then forming a chromatin fiber and then yun yung mag-scaffold siya sa scaffold proteins. So that is yung purpose ni DNA packaging is para mag-fit in siya sa nucleus. Kasi mataas masyado si DNA. So kailangan siya i-compact, i-condense para mag-fit in siya sa nucleus, and that process is called DNA packaging. The subtype. Next, we have RNA. So, di ba karamihan na-discuss nito sa DNA? Now we have the RNA. Si RNA again, it is a single-stranded molecule in most of its biological rules and has a shorter chain to nucleotides. Kung si DNA, longer siya, taas ka ay iyahang chain. Si RNA naman is shorter chain lang siya. Now, meron din siyang nucleotides. We have sugar, the phosphate group, and the nitrogenous bases. But they differ in the sugar, which is yung sugar ni RNA is ribose. And then, meron din siyang nitrogenous bases. So, same lang pa rin. We have two groups, the purines and pyrimidines. Now, instead na thymine, ang na-replace sa kanya is the uracil. So, yan lang yung kailangan mo i-remember sa DNA and RNA. Nasabta, meron question? Wala. Sige, let's move on. Now, dito tayo sa history of the nucleic acid. So, in the year 1869, yung first na isolate ng nuclei or the nuclei from the fat of the fast cells or WBCs is si Friedrich Miescher. So, siya yung nag-first isolate and iyan ang itawag na nuclei. And then after that, in the year 1884 to 1889, si Emil Fischer. So, siya yung nag-discover sa purines. And then from the 1885, naging si Albrecht Kossel discovered the pyrimidines. So, siya naman yung nag-discover sa pyrimidines. And then in 1899, from nucleate, nagiging nucleic acid na siya. I-introduce ang term na nucleic acid. Isa si Richard Altman. So, siya yung nag-introduce, siya yung first na nag-introduce sa nucleic acid. From nucleate, naging nucleic acid. Next, we have in the year 1909, si Thomas Aaron discovered DNA from any cell of organisms should have 1:1 ratio. So meaning, kung unsa ang amount ni guanine, siya din ang amount ni partner ni guanine? Cytosine. Kung ano yung amount ni adenine, yun din ang amount ni thymine. So meaning, they have 1:1 ratio. That is the Chargaff rule. Isang nabuhat si Erwin Chargaff. Sometime. Okay, next. We have in the year 1952, si Rosalind Franklin. I believe na kailan mo niya, ay sa inyong hangunan anak, na-mention siguro siya, si Rosalind Franklin, produced the X-ray diffraction evidence, which is yung tawag na photo 51 of the DNA skeletal structure. So siya ang nag-discover sa double chemical structure ng DNA. And ang iyang evidence is through X-ray diffraction. And itawag niya na photo 51. So ito siya. Ito yung photo 51. Yung sa gilid. So in the year 1952, I guess isa galing ang nag-discover sa double chemical structure ng DNA si Rosalind Franklin. Kung sa evidence niyang gamit, X-ray diffraction. Anong tawag? Photo 51. Sige, in the year 1952, Maurice Wilkins helped DNA crystallography and shared Franklin's data, contributing to Watson and Crick's model. And then in the year 1953, naman, si James Watson and si Francis Crick constructed the double helical model for DNA and published their findings in the year, in the month April of 25, in the year 1953, issue of Nature magazine. They received the 1962 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine together with Wilkins. So si James Watson and si Francis Crick sila yung nag-construct sa double helical na structure ng DNA. Ang nag-first na nag-discover si Rosalind Franklin. Now let's move on to the first step or process of DNA of central dogma, which is si DNA replication. So si DNA replication, nasa galing siya mag-occur during S phase. DNA replication is a process by which DNA makes a copy of itself during the cell division. So there are modes of replication or DNA replication. We have the semi-conservative, the conservative, and the dispersive. Now, as you can observe, now, semi-conservative, ito yung mga modes of DNA replication. We have semi-conservative, conservative, and dispersive. Now, si semi-conservative, during DNA replication, yung DNA na ma-produce niya, yung ma-replicate niya, is merong consist of old. Ito yung old, ito yung pink color, siya yung old, and then we have the new strand. So ito yung bagong strand. So that is semi-conservative. You want to remember, basta semi-conservative, merong old na strand or parental strand, and then meron din new strand. So that is semi-conservative. And ito yung ginagamit talaga sa yun yung accepted na mode of inheritance, mode of replication, si semi-conservative. And then next we have the conservative. Si conservative naman, conservative, two newly created strands, ito daw siya, brought together, the parental strand reassociate. So ito siya, from parents, nire-associate lang siya ng isa, same with the parents, and then meron new strand, like new lang talaga siya. That is conservative. which is yung old, and then new. Sometime. So, wala sila, sa isang DNA, wala sila na join together. So, kung si old lang din siya. Kung si new lang din siya. So, that is conservative. Tingnan nyo yung structure niya. Diba? Na-join together si old and si new. Sa conservative, si old lang siya. Kung si new lang siya. Saktan. Dito sa dispersive, each strand would possess both old and new DNA. Meaning, randomly, meron sa isang strand, diba, nag-link together sila, but merong randomly na merong parental, and then meron din new strand. So, as you can observe, sa isang strand niya, merong old, meron new, tapos old na naman, meron new, old, new. So, that is dispersive. Na-disperse yung mga strands niya, o yung mga nakapilitan niya. Nasabtan, pag sabi conservative, ganyan ang sa old and new na nag-link together. Si conservative, old lang siya, new. And then sa dispersive, randomly sila na each strand will consist both old and new DNA. So, nasabtan siya. Next, we have DNA replication. So, balik-balik din sa inyo ka, diba? Sa DNA replication. DNA replication occurs during the S phase. DNA must be replicated so that the information it holds can be maintained and passed to future cell generation. So, yun na yung mga ultimate layers of DNA replication. We have the helicase, the SSB or the single-stranded DNA binding protein, the primase, the DNA polymerase, and then the ligase. So, yung lima, sila yung mga key players. Sila yung mga star players sa DNA replication. Now, as you can remember, ano ba yung helicase? May ma-remember ka helicase? Helicase, siya yung first na mag-bind sa origin para mag-start ang replication. So, as you can observe, ito si helicase. Siya yung mag-bind sa DNA sa origin. So, ito si helicase, nag-bind siya sa origin, and siya yung nag-unwind. Siya yung mga nag-separate sa double helical na structure ng DNA. So, as you can observe, nag-separate ang strand ni DNA. Now, para din siya mabalik, meron tayong ginatawag na SSB protein. SSB stands for Single-Stranded DNA Binding Protein. Single-Stranded DNA Binding Protein. So, siya itong dalawa nito, ito, sila si SSB. Sila yung nag-keep the strands apart. So, sila yung nag-hold sa strands para hindi siya mabalik o mag-coil. Saktan. And then, si primase naman, siya yung nagagawa ng RNA primer. So, itong green, yan yung RNA primer. So, si primase, again, si primase, siya yung nagagawa ng RNA primer. Ito siya, yung green. So, si RNA primer, siya yung indication na mag-start na pag-add ang DNA polymerase sa mga nucleotides. Nasabtan. Again, si helicase, mag-unwind. Si SSB, siya yung mag-keep apart sa unwinding helicase. And then, si primase, mag-take siya ng RNA primer. Si RNA primer, siya yung indication na mag-start na pag-add ng nucleotides. So, sino yung mag-add ng nucleotides? Si DNA polymerase. bacteria. So, i-blue DNA siya. So, sino observe? Mag-sumpay-sumpay na sila. Ano yung mag-blue? Si lipase. Or mag-kills the sugar phosphate bacteria. So, that is the replication. And sometimes, again, isa galing na enzyme ang mag-unwind. Si and then, sino yung mag-pick up na part sa unwind? Si SLD or si protein. And then after that, ano yung next na step?
Yung primase.
Primase. Ano yung gawin yung primase? Now, ano si RNA primer?
Nag-indicate.
Siya yung indication na mag-start mag-add si
Nucleic
DNA polymerase. So, ano yung i-add yung DNA polymerase? Nucleotides. So, ano direction mag-add si DNA polymerase? 5' to 3'. Sometimes, ano yung continuous na strand? Leading strand. Ano yung discontinuous? Lagging strand. Sino yung mag-seal or mag-glue sa fragmented na ano? Si lipase. Okay, so you remember yun siya. Next, we have DNA amplification. Si DNA amplification is same with DNA replication. However, si DNA replication is hindi siya natural. It is through a laboratory techniques or machine ang nag-replicate. Hindi yung natural siya na nag-replicate. So that is DNA amplification, or it is also known as DNA replication, pero sa laboratory lang siya. Sometimes, so si DNA amplification, a laboratory technique used to produce multiple copies of specific DNA sequence. DNA replication that is conducted outside the cell. So dili siya mahibabo sa cell. Outside the cell siya. Sa machine siya i-process. So that is DNA amplification. Pero ang iyang purpose pa rin is mag-replicate ng DNA. Now we have here the technique, laboratory technique, which is the PCR. Are you familiar with PCR? So si PCR is polymerase chain reaction. So merong three processes ni PCR, di ba? Denaturing, annealing, and extending. So si polymerase or si polymerase chain reaction, it is the first and best known DNA amplification technique. It uses the, anong ginamit niya? The Taq polymerase obtained from the thermophilic bacteria. So si thermophilic bacteria, ito yung si Thermus, galing siya kay Thermus aquaticus. Si Thermus aquaticus, ito yung loving high temperature, heat-loving bacterium. Yan siya. Maka-withstand siya sa high temperature. Kung grabe siya ka-init, maka-survive pa rin siya. That is the Thermus aquaticus. So, ginamit is the Taq polymerase, which is galing siya sa thermophilic bacteria, which is Thermus aquaticus. Always remember ha, basta heat-loving bacterium, it is the Thermus aquaticus. Siya yung bacteria na maka-withstand sa high temperature. And then, sa PCR, it requires thermal cycler that automatically initiates cyclic temperature changes. So, gina-control. Meron siyang thermal cycler, gina-control yung temperature. Now, dito tayo sa process ni DNA amplification, ni PCR. So, we have here the double-stranded DNA. For example, meron tayo dito. Para ma-unwind, diba, sa natural na process, meron tayong enzyme na helipase. Sa PCR, kasi ano lang siya, technology lang siya ang ginamit. Ang ginamit nila is the denaturation or denaturing stage. Meaning, kailangan ipainit nila ang 50 to 56 degrees Celsius. Subtype, so that is and then si PCR it will produce millions of replicated DNA. Millions na niya ang ma-produce. And then, we have the DNA sequencing. Kasi DNA sequencing naman, it is a process of determining the exact order of nucleotides. And it is based on the complementary base pairing. So, mabase siya, it is measured by the complementary base pairing. So, we have here methods used. We have the Sanger sequencing. The Sanger sequencing is it is a chain termination method first widely used, highly accurate for small DNA fragments. So, ginagamit siya sa mga small fragments of DNA. Si Sanger sequencing. And then si Maxam naman, si Maxam-Gelbert sequencing, chemical cleavage method, historically important, but it is rarely used today. So, wala na siya ginagamit kaayos na today's generation. Pero sa una is ginagamit siya na method. And then next, we have the NGS, or the next generation sequencing. It is massively parallel, high throughput technology, sequence millions of fragments at once. So, simultaneously, makaproduce sila or maka-recognize sila ng sequences ng DNA. And then, si nanopore sequencing naman, it reads DNA directly by detecting the electrical current changes as nucleic acid pass through the nanopore. So, nanopore sequencing siya ang nag-read sa DNA as much as nag-pass through si nucleic acid sa nanopore. So, that is DNA sequencing. There are 4 methods sa DNA sequencing. We have the Sanger, the Maxam, the NGS, and the nanopore sequencing. And then we have here the comparison between the polymerase chain reaction and the DNA sequencing. Ang main purpose nila, si PCR is mag-amplify o mag-create siya ng DNA o mag-replicate siya ng DNA sequence to produce millions of copies. Whereas DNA sequencing, siya yung mag-determine sa exact order of nucleotides, yung sa A, B, C, G, and DNA. Kung tama ba ang ilang pairing, kung ano yung order ng mga nucleotides. Sa medical diagnosis naman, si PCR can detect pathogens or yung mga HIV, mga COVID-19, genetic disorder, cancer-related mutation. And then sa DNA sequencing naman, identifies the disease-causing mutations. So, for personalized medicine in cancer genomics. So, dito sa DNA sequencing, malalaman dito kung merong mutations, merong na-insert na mga nucleotides, and then it will cause mutation or defect sa individual. And then we have forensic science, we have DNA fingerprinting for crime scene analysis, and for DNA sequencing naman, provides precise DNA profiles for individual identification. And then, for research and molecular biology, we have the gene cloning, the mutation detection, recombinant DNA experiment. And then, sa DNA sequencing naman, we have studies gene function, discovers new genes, identifies regulatory sequences. So, screenshot ko na lang ito, kayo lang kung ako ang send na video sa inyo ha. Isang matanong sa video. Hands up. Isang matanong sa video. Matay mo ka. Transcription. So si transcription, ano yung RNA niya? mRNA na, messenger RNA. So sa transcription, genetic information from DNA sequence is copied into a complementary strand of RNA, usually a mRNA bridge between genes and proteins. So ito siya, ito yung mga factors na involved sa DNA transcription. Sa transcription. So we have the DNA binding proteins, the histone, RNA polymerase, and so on. So dito, for example, ito si DNA strand ito, from 3' to 5'. Si promoter, siya yung mag-recognize, si promoter, siya yung specific DNA sequence located upstream before the gene serves as the binding site for RNA polymerase and transcription factors. So si promoter, siya yung binding site ni RNA polymerase and the transcription factors. So ito si promoter. Tapos, siya yung parang switch on. Siya ang nag-switch on para ma-activate si transcription factors and si RNA polymerase. So we have here ito. Tapos, we have the promoter. Si promoter, siya yung pinakauna. Siya yung mag-recognize sa DNA sequence. So, pinakauna siya. And then, once na meron ng promoter, mag-bind si tata binding protein or itong si transcription factors. I-recognize niya si tata box. Ito siya si tata. Mag-bind siya dito. Then after that, once na mag-bind na si transcription factors, mag-bind din si RNA polymerase. Mag-bind si RNA polymerase dito kay after the transcription factors. Now, once na mag-bind si transcription factors, mag-start na ang transcription. Parang preparatory stage pa lang ito. So, we have here first the promoter, the protein, the tata binding protein, and then the RNA polymerase. So, sila yung mga kailangan yung prepare na mag-bind si promoter, si RNA, that is initiation. Pag mag-add na ng nucleotides, that is elongation. Once na maabot na siya sa terminator, that is termination. So once na ma-reach na si terminator, RNA polymerase reaches terminator, so it's releasing the RNA and detached from the DNA. So as you can observe, ito si RNA na nagawa. Ito yung nagawa na RNA. Once na ma-reach si terminator, mag-detach na yun siya. Matanggal na siya. And then, pag meron na tayong RNA, hindi pa siya immune na pwede na siya makaproceed sa translation. Meron na siyang mRNA processing. Ito na siya. Many identical copies of RNA are transcribed simultaneously. So, pwede sila sabay-sabay sa isang DNA. So, as you can observe, meron tayong ganito. Isa lang na siya DNA, pero pwede sila makaproduce na lahat na RNA simultaneously, sabay-sabay. Example. Now, ito siya, example, template DNA strand. We have ano yung answer dapat niya? Ano yung complementary strand niya? So, we have G, mag-undergo siya ng capping and polyadenylation, mag-add siya ng cap, and then mag-add siya sa tail. And then after that, is so, mas ito siya. I-remove niya ang mga intro Translation is the most appropriate using the information in the mRNA sequence. So particular mRNA codons may have three nucleotide bases. So, si codons, siya yung si codons, di ba, meron tayong mRNA, yung mature RNA. Yung mga nucleotides niya, yung three na magsunod consecutive, yan yung tinatawag na codons. Pero, yung i-pair ni tRNA, yung i-pair na complementary base niya, yung tatlo pa rin na nagsunod na nucleotides, ay nitrogenous bases, that is anticodon. Sometimes, pag sa mRNA, codons, pag ang iyang complementary base pair is si anticodon. Sometimes, na-gets ang difference. So, ngayon, di ba, dun siya mag-take sa ribosomes, it's either sa RAF-ER or sa mga free ribosomes na nasa cytoplasm. So, yun siya. Now, ang first na nangyari is that the mRNA, the small subunit, yung right, di ba, meron tayong small subunit and large subunit. Ang first na mag-bind is si small subunit. And then after that, Yung basta ako pina-memorize ko yun, ako gastos na lang. Yung one, and one. So, dali lang siya lang. So, one, and one. So, that is the stop codon. Pag start codon, ready? August. August start sa klase, August. Kung stop codon, yumaha, uga, uwa. So, ano siya? Kung uwag siya, kayo ba? Ano? So, ano lang siya? Para dali lang yun siya ma-remember. Kasi ako na makalimot ko doon, kanang you go away, you are one, so dito lang ako sa basta yun ako remember. Then next, we have universal. So, pag universal, we're doing the same in all living organisms. Meaning, sa tanang organisms, we same lang ang ginagamit ng mga genetiko. So, that is universal. Sa tao, sa hayop, sa plants, so same lang pa rin ng mga amino acid. Ay, genetico is natin. And then we have non-overlapping and covalesce. So, pag when we say non-overlapping, G, U. So, ito siya, hindi siya, di ba, tatlo. Hindi siya pwede na gamitin siya sa dito na area. So, 1, 2, 3, dito na ba siya mas-mag. Hindi na niya pwede, hindi siya pwede mag-overlap dito. So, 1, 2, 3, isa na siya ka colon, and then ito siya, isa din siya na colon. Hindi siya pwede na gamitin si C dito sa ganyan. Gamitin niya siya si So, di siya pwede. So, that is non-overlapping. Nasabtan ang characteristic ng genetic code. Nasabtan na so, meron mga exceptions sa universal code. We have the termination, the PRP, and then the source is human and yeast. So, ito yung mga exceptions niya. I-screenshot ko na lang ito, tapos nakahin nyo lang ito ha. I think meron items ito sa exam. Isa. So, basahin nyo lang ito. Isa ko lang ang table. Ay, na-upload siya sa book. Yung table. Merong question dito sa exam. Dito na tayo sa steps ng translation. Okay. Sa steps of translation, we have tRNA, which is known as the transfer RNA. So we have the anticodon, sabi na diba anticodon, and then we have the codon. So say codon, kaya sa mRNA siya, si anticodon is yung nitrogenous bases na gina-carry ni tRNA. So we have the tRNA charging. Si tRNA charging siya yung dapat gina-charge si tRNA charging para hindi magkamalik sa base pairing. So yun yung purpose ng tRNA charging. Now we have here, same lang pa rin sa transcription, meron tayong initiation, elongation, and termination. So first we have the mRNA leader sequence form each band split with short sequence of RNA in smaller ribosomal subunit. So ito si mRNA. And then meron tayong mRNA leader sequence. Ito siya yung green. Siya yung leader sequence. Yan. So ito yung leader sequence. And then, di ba meron tayong start codon? Ay, wait lang. First na mag-bind si small ribosomal subunit. Then after that, meron na tayong makita na start codon, which is si AUG. So sa AUG, doon mag-bind yung complementary niya. Ito si rRNA. So si rRNA, pinakarry niya ang pa siya, E pa. E. So, meron tayo E, E, A. So, ito sila, siya yung side. Ito yung tatlong side sa mRNA. Dito ang area dito. So, di ba meron P and A, pero meron pa yung E side. So, ang mag-accept sa tRNA, sa amino acid, is C. Asan siya mag-accept?
A.
Sa A. And then after that, pag maka-accept na siya ng amino acid, mag-move siya to B side. Ano mangyari sa B side?
Mag-exit.
Doon mangyari ang yung magdikit ang mga polypeptide chain. So yung amino acid, meaning si methionine, magdikit siya sa glycine. Dito siya mangyari sa B side. Now, pag matanggal na ang, di ba wala na din matanaw sa video ba? So pag makita sa video, matanggal ang polypeptide chain, ma-uncharge si tRNA. Si tRNA, mag-move siya sa E-side. So sa E-side, mag-exit na dahil siya. So matanggal na siya, pero magpabilis na mag-dikit ang mga polypeptide chain. So yun yung ma-create ng product sa translation.
Yun na yung
Yun
protein.
na yung proteins. Nasaktan? So yun siya. So from A side, mag-accept siya na isa yung answer. Mga amino acid. And then, mag-move siya sa E side. Sa E side, ano mangyari sa E side? Yung mag-bind ang mga amino acid, mga polypeptide chain. And then, ang uncharged, ano yung mangyari? Mag-muna siya sa E side. And then, mag-exit. So yun yung process ni elongation. Now, dito tayo sa during translation, the growing polypeptide And then it is the final functional molecules made of amino acid whose sequence is determined by the nucleotides. That is why ang building block ng proteins is ano building block ng proteins? Ano yung composition protein? Ano? Parang maganda na mention. Pero maganda discuss. Ano man? Amino acid. Diba? Ang amino acid, dikit-dikit siya to form a protein. So, ang building block ng protein is amino acid. Ano ang building block ng amino acid? Ano? Nucleotides. Nasabdal. Gusto naman sila, okay? So, we have here, merong apat na structures in proteins. We have the primary structures, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. So, si proteins, meron tayong, pag proteins gamit, plain lang siya. Linear structure lang si proteins, amino acid, and the polypeptide chain. Pag secondary, meron na tayong alpha helix and beta sheet. Pag tertiary structure, it is component chain, and quaternary is, it is composed of two or more polypeptide chain. So that is the structure. There are four structure of the proteins, the primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. So, si proteins, meron siyang several functions, and its essential role is enzyme siya, hormones, transporter, receptors, and structural components. So, yan yung function ni protein. So, basta enzyme gamit, protein yan siya. And then hormones, transporters. And then proteins also provides a structural support. Okay, next we have the protein folding. So, the protein folding, biological process by which a newly made linear polypeptide chain folds into the uniquely D-shape to become a functional protein. So, again, we have the chaperone. The chaperone proteins, the ubiquitin and the proteasome. So we have, si this folded protein, si ubiquitin, basta ano siya yung misfolded na protein. Okay. Misfolded na protein. So si proteasome, siya yung mag-strengthen dito, ay siya yung mag-integrate na fragment niya yung mga polypeptide chain, protein integration. So ito yung nangyari kung sa maging amino acid siya. So very we have here the prion diseases. So prion diseases, transmissible spongiform encephalopathies or ESPs, rare fatal neurodegenerative disorders caused by indisposed of normal activity. So, in the infectious forms, spongiform changes, neuronal loss, and severe so, as we can observe sa video, ito meron normal and scrappy. So, scrappy, it is the first described prion disease. So, as we can observe, ito merong difference. So, sa scrappy, kaya meron yung mga misfolded protein. So, compared sa normal, di ba plain lang siya. Tapos sa scrappy, there is a misfolded protein na yan siya. As we can observe sa figure, yan siya, mga misfolded protein yan siya. Affects the central nervous system of sheep and goats. They rub against the base, this is what exercise. So yun siya, rocking. Remember, it is the first described prion disease. Next, other animal prion diseases. So sa ang always na familiar nito is si mad cow disease, BSC, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSC or mad cow disease, transmissible neurodegenerative fatal brain. So usually ang affected na organ is our nervous system. So yun talaga ang gina-atake ng prion disease, yung mga neurodegenerative diseases. So we also have the chronic wasting disease, the CWD. So affects deer, elk, and moose. Progressive weight loss, salivation. Maglaway-laway yung chest. So behavioral changes, lack of hair, and dropping heads and hairs. So next we have transmissible knee encephalopathy or EMP. So affects knee behavioral changes, loss of coordination, difficulty eating, individual paralysis, and death. So ito yung mga other animal prion disease, but the most common is itong si mad cow disease. And then, ito si major human prion disease. Si Coro, it means to shake. So itong si Coro, it is the first prion disease recognized in humans. Ang story nito siya is that ang Coro daw is found among people from New Guinea who practice a form of cannibalism in which they ate the brains of the people as part of their funeral ritual. So meaning, ang mga patay na, ang brains ng mga patay na tao ginakaon nila. So, pero doon yan siya, dati pa yan siya doon sa Papua New Guinea. So, yun yung isa sa reasons na nung this practice stopped in the year 1960, but cases of Coro were reported for many years afterwards because the disease has long incubation period. So, yun siya. Ginakain nila yung brains ng mga patay na tao. So, that is Coro. Means to shake. It is the first prion disease recognized in humans. Sa humans yun siya. Yan yung first prion. Remember, this is the first prion disease recognized in humans.